Hello everyone. Welcome to Do Math with Me series. So, this series was started with the only intention to make the students get into the habit of solving maths every day. So, what would happen eventually when you are practicing maths every day is that your confidence level will increase, your speed and accuracy will also be improving at a very large scale. You can see a huge change in the way you look at a problem. So, take your notebook, set a 20 minutes timer, pause the video and solve with me. Okay, so let us get started with today's set of questions from the chapter Polynomials of class 10th. The first question for the day is, if one of the zero of the quadratic polynomial x square plus 3x plus k is 2, find the value of k. A very easy problem. Let me do it for you. So here you are given a polynomial, a quadratic polynomial. What do you mean by a quadratic polynomial? The polynomial which has got the highest power of the variable as 2. So the degree is 2. And if the degree is 2, the polynomial is called a quadratic polynomial. Right? So p of x is nothing but x square plus 3x plus k. This is the given quadratic polynomial. You are also given something else. One of the zero of this polynomial is 2. What do you mean by zero of a polynomial? That value of x which is going to make the polynomial 0, that value of x is what is called the zero of a polynomial. So what is also given is the value of the polynomial at x equal to 2 is equal to 0. So this is also given to you in the question. All you have to do is substitute in place of x, you have to put 2. So let's go ahead and do it. So 2 square plus 3 multiplied by 2. All you have to do is in this polynomial, in place of x, you have to substitute 2. Okay. So 3 into 2 plus k equal to 0. So 4 plus 6 plus k equal to 0. So you get 10 plus k equal to 0, and therefore the value of k is nothing but minus 10. So that's your answer. So whenever you are given a 0 of a polynomial, always remember the value of the polynomial at that x value is always 0. So you should be able to translate this sentence into this format. Okay, so let's do more and more problems. It's only today. Today is going to be day 8 of our Do Math With Me series. So we will be continuing till yesterday, till day 7. 7 days I have uploaded the videos wherein you would have solved questions related to chapter 1 of real numbers. So today happens to be day 8 of the series. We are going to continue this till the end of this year, and you will let me know the number of problems that we would have solved will definitely be a 4-digit number. Okay, so let's move on. That's all. You have found out the value of k. Pause the video. Please solve it with me. So whatever be the 0, you should be able to do the same, right? A similar pattern of question, if it is given, you should be able to do it. Let's move on to the next question. Find the degree of this polynomial. What do you mean by degree of a polynomial? Degree is nothing but highest power of the variable. What is the highest power of the variable? That is what is called the degree. Now here in this polynomial, the variable used is y. So for that y, okay, all of these terms have the y variable in it. Among all the terms, which is the highest power of y? So here the power of y, it's 3, here it is 6, here it is 2, and this is a constant because there is no variable. What is the highest power of the variable? So it happens to be 6. Therefore, the degree of this polynomial is nothing but 6. Okay, so whenever you are asked to find the degree, just check which of the power of the variable is the highest. Whatever is the highest or maximum value, that is the degree of the polynomial. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. I hope you are pausing the video and doing it with me. Yeah. this question. Let me give you a few seconds to read the question. What is the question given? If one of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial k minus 1 into x square plus kx plus 1 is minus 3, very similar to the first question that we solved, find the value of k. I'll give you 5 or 10 seconds to solve. Think and do it. Pause the video and then I will solve it with you. Let me just write whatever is given till then. So, you are given the polynomial p of x equal to k minus 1 into x square plus kx plus 1. This is a given polynomial. What is also given? One of the zeros is given, right? So, p of minus 3. What is that zero value? That is the value of x, which is making the polynomial 0. P of minus 3, right? X equal to minus 3 is the 0. So, p of minus 3 is, you're told that that is 0 of the polynomial. All you have to do is just substitute. In place of x, just put the value as minus 3 very carefully and find out the value of k. Please do it yourself. Only then will you be able to see if what you are doing is correct. Right? Be very careful with the signs also. Meanwhile, I'll also be doing it. So, k minus 1 multiplied by minus 3 the whole square plus k multiplied by minus 3 plus 1 equal to 0. So, k minus 1 multiplied by 9 minus 3k plus 1 equal to 0. So, you will get 9k minus 9 minus 3k plus 1 equal to 0. 9 minus 3k is 6k. Minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8 equal to 0. So, 6k equal to 8 and k, okay, so 6k equal to 8 and k equal to 8 by 6. So, 2 4s are 8 and 2 3s are 6. So, the answer for k is 4 by 3. That's your value. You are asked to find the value of k. Very easy question. You should always understand if you are given a 0, there is a reason why they have given you the 0. So, using this, you can definitely define it that if p of x is the given polynomial, p of minus 3, that 0 value will be equal to 0. So, you can equate it to 0, substitute the value of x with the 0 value and calculate the value of k. A very, very easy question, probably for a 2 marks, which you can very easily get it. I hope all of you have done it. Let's move on to the next question. If the zeros of a quadratic polynomial x square plus a plus 1x plus b are 2n minus 3, then find the values of a and b. Now, the given zeros are, there are 2 zeros given because it's a quadratic polynomial. Maximum it will have 2 zeros. So, the zeros are 2 and minus 3. What is the given polynomial p of x? It is x square plus a plus 1 multiplied by x plus b. Now, as I told you, what do you mean when you are given zeros? It means x equal to 2 is equal to 0. Okay, the value of the polynomial at x equal to 2 is 0 and the value of the polynomial at x equal to minus 3 is also 0. So, how do I write it mathematically? P of 2 is 0 and p of minus 3 is also 0. Very similar to the previous question. Just substitute 2 in place of x. So, you will get 2 square plus a plus 1 multiplied by 2 plus b equal to 0. So, you have 4 plus open the bracket 2a plus 2 plus b equal to 0. So, you will have 2a plus b plus 6 equal to 0, right? 4 plus 2, 6. So, 2a plus b equal to minus 6. This is your equation 1. Now, let us substitute in place of x, let's put minus 3. So, you will get minus 3 the whole square plus a plus 1 multiplied by minus 3 plus b equal to 0. So, you have minus 3 the whole square is plus 9 minus 3a minus 3 plus b equal to 0. Now, here's what you have to be careful. a multiplied by minus 3, minus 3a, plus 1 multiplied by minus 3 is minus 3. So be very careful with the signs. What do you get? Minus 3a plus b plus 9 minus 3 is 6 equal to 0. So minus 3a plus b equal to minus 6. So this is equation 2. Let's subtract 1 minus equation 2. So what do you get? 2a plus b equal to minus 6 and minus 3a plus b equal to minus 6. Change the sign whenever you are subtracting, change the sign. So plus b minus b will get cancelled. Minus 6 plus 6 is 0. 2 plus 3a is 5a. Therefore, a is nothing but 0 divided by 5 is 0. Now you can substitute this a value in any one of the equations. So put it in 1. Put in equation 1. So you will get, what is equation 1? 2a plus b equal to minus 6. So it's 0 plus b equal to minus 6. Therefore, your b is nothing but minus 6. What are you asked? You are asked to find a and b. So the value, therefore, you can write, therefore, a is nothing but 0 and b is nothing but minus 6. These are the values of a and b. A very easy question. Now let us move on to the next one. What is the 0 of a linear polynomial? P of x equal to ax plus b. What you are given is a standard form of a linear polynomial. So P of x is nothing but ax plus b. Let k be the 0 of the polynomial. Okay. Let k be the 0 of the polynomial. So what is P of k? P of k will be equal to 0, right? Obviously, if k is the 0, then P of k, that is the value of the polynomial at x equal to k, will be 0. So what happens? In place of x, just substitute it with k. So ak plus b equal to 0 and ak equal to minus b and then k equal to minus b by a. Therefore, what is the value of k? What is the 0 of the linear polynomial? So this value is nothing but the 0 of the polynomial. This is called the 0 of the polynomial. Why is it called the 0 of a polynomial? Because in a, suppose you have your ak plus b, right? In place of k, if I put minus b by a plus b, what do I get here? Plus a and a will get cancelled. So you will get minus b plus b, which is 0. So in place of x, right, or in place of k, if I put minus b by a, then what am I getting here? I am getting a 0. So this is minus b by a is the 0 of the polynomial. Right? This is just for your verification. In place of k, you can write the original polynomial is of the form p of x, right? So in place of x, you are just substituting minus b by a. So that's all for today. I hope you understood. These are very, very easy questions, and polynomials chapter is again a very, very good chapter. You have 4 marks from polynomials out of 80, and definitely all the 4 marks you should be able to score 4 entirely, because the chapter is very, very easy. There's very little to remember, and with a lot of practice questions, I'm sure your concepts will be more strong. You will have an idea. The more problems you solve, the better you get, the more confident you become. You do not have to worry about anything. If you have any questions or any doubts, if you think there are any topics which are difficult, please post that in the comments. I am able to help you with that. Is find the degree of the polynomial. You are given a polynomial of this form, that is x minus 1 into x square plus x minus x to the power 4 plus 2. So let's write the given polynomial. You are given x minus 1 multiplied by x square plus x minus x to the power 4 plus 2. Always remember that the highest power of the variable is the degree of the polynomial. But before you find out the degree, before you identify or before you even go to calculate it, let us open a bracket, let us multiply these two functions. Okay, so x multiplied by all these 4 terms and then minus 1 multiplied by all of these 4 terms. Let's do it. So x into x square, x multiplied by x square and then x multiplied by x into minus x to the power 4 and x into 2. Okay, so it's x cube plus x into x is x square minus x to the power 5 plus 2x. And then what would you do? This minus 1 multiplied by all of these 4 terms. Okay, so minus x square. So minus 1 into x is minus x. Minus 1 into minus x to the power 4 is plus x to the power 4. Minus 1 into plus 2 is minus 2. Right? So here if you see x square plus x square and minus x square gets cancelled. You have to combine all the like terms. So what do you have? X to the power 3 minus x to the power 5 plus 2x minus x is plus x and then plus x to the power 4 minus 2. Now tell me what is the highest power of the variable? Highest power of the variable x. The first one is 3, x to the power 5, x to the power 1, 4. What is the highest power? It is 5. Okay, so the highest power of x in the given polynomial is 5. Therefore, the degree is equal to 5. Always solve it, open the bracket, multiply the function before and then simplify as much as possible. Combine all the like terms and then you will be able to find the degree of the polynomial. Pause the video and please do it yourself and do check if you are getting this answer. You have to be very careful when you have a negative sign and when you are multiplying each term with all the 4 other terms. So you have to be very careful with the signs. Okay, plus or minus sign. So hope it's clear. Let's move on to the second question. If x equal to 3 is 1 0 of the quadratic polynomial x square minus 2kx minus 6, then find the value of k. So you are given polynomial p of x is quadratic polynomial is x square minus 2k into x minus 6. This is the given quadratic polynomial. We are given that 3 x equal to 3 is one of the zeros, is 1 0 of p of x. What does it mean when you say 3 is one of the 0 of p of x? That means in place of x, if I substitute 3, then the value of the polynomial becomes 0. Let us substitute and see. So in place of x, you have to put 3. So 3 square minus 2k into 3 minus 6 is equal to 0. So 3 square is 9 minus 6k minus 6 is equal to 0. So 9 minus 6 is 3 minus 6k equal to 0. So what do you get? Minus 6k equal to minus 3. Minus minus gets cancelled. K is equal to 3 divided by 6. So 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. So k is nothing but 1 by 2. So that's your answer. So you can write therefore k equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Very easy. So whenever you're given a 0, that means that in place of x, you have to just put that 0 value. The value of the polynomial is going to be 0 at that x value. So at x equal to 3, p of x becomes 0 and that is why it is called the 0 of the polynomial. Okay, so when you are substituted, you found the unknown value k and k is equal to 1 by 2. Let's move on to the next question. Find the zero of the polynomial x square minus 3x minus m into m plus 3. In order to find the zeros, you have to equate it to 0. Let p of x be the given quadratic polynomial, that is x square minus 3x minus m multiplied by m plus 3. Now, in this question, you don't, probably it's a tricky question. It's not a very easy question. Let me tell you how to do it. Okay. So, to find zeros, you have to find zeros, you have to equate it to 0. To find the zeros, you have to equate it to 0. So, let us equate x square minus 3x minus m multiplied by m plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. Now, here what I'm going to do is x square minus the 3, I can write it as 3 plus m minus m, right? Okay, it's either ways, it's going to be 3 only. So what am I going to write? 3 plus and add and subtract m multiplied by x minus the third term is going to be the same, that is minus m into m plus 3 is equal to 0. Let me do it for you. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is I'll take m plus 3 into x as one term and minus mx I am going to take it separately. So what will I do? X square minus m plus 3 multiplied by x, right? 3 plus m plus 3, it's all same, into x minus mx. There is a minus outside. So when you open the bracket, minus into minus is going to become plus mx, and then minus m square minus 3m equal to 0. I just opened this term as well, right? Minus m into m minus m into 3, right? Now, in these two terms, okay, let us take common. What is common? Only x is common. So, take x common out. So, what will you get? X minus m plus 3. And then plus, what is common in the last three terms? M is common. So, let me take m common out. So, inside I'll have x minus m minus 3 equal to 0. Correct? Okay. So, then again x multiplied by x minus m plus 3 plus m multiplied by x, take minus common out, m plus 3 equal to 0. Now here these two terms are same. So m plus x plus m is one term. So x plus m is one term. The other term is going to be x minus m plus 3. Correct? So this is the other term equal to 0. So now you have to use the zero product property. So either x plus m equal to 0, or which means x is equal to minus m. This is one of the zeros, and x minus m plus 3 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to m plus 3. This is the other 0. Okay, so this problem is a little tricky problem, and these two are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay. So the main part why I wanted you to wait and do it with me is because the most important thing is for you to take a plus m and minus m here, and be very careful when you are segregating the terms. So m plus 3 into x becomes 1, minus into minus is plus mx. All the other, there will be 3 terms towards the end. So here you take x common out, and then m common from the last 3 terms, and then just combine it, group it together. So you'll be getting x plus m equal to 0, x minus m plus 3 equal to 0. So this is how you have to do it. Please solve it. Such questions are sometimes a little trickier, but if you solve it and see, then definitely, I'm sure if a similar question comes in the exam, you will definitely be able to do it. Pause the video and please do it. So these two, x equal to minus m and m plus 3, are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Let's move on to the next question. The graph of a polynomial p of x cuts the x-axis at 3 points and it touches it at two other points. What does it mean? Let me draw it for you here. So suppose I have this, okay, and it you are given that p of x cut the x-axis, it cuts the x-axis at 3 points. So 1, 2 and 3. And it touches it at two other points, 1 and 2, right? So what is given here is, so see, it cuts at 3 points and it touches it at two other points. So totally how many points does it cut? So always whenever you are having a graph of p of x, whenever you're having whenever you're studying or observing the graph of a polynomial, a quadratic polynomial or any polynomial for that reason, the number of zeros are always the number of points where the graph cuts or touches the x-axis. So here if you see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the number of zeros are 5. Okay, so the number of zeros are the number of points where the graph cuts the x-axis. So this is your x-axis, right? Now moving on to the next question. Which of the following is not a graph of a quadratic polynomial? Always remember, whenever you have a quadratic polynomial of the form ax square plus bx plus c, the degree of this polynomial is 2 and the maximum number of zeros that it will contain is going to be 2. Maximum. It can be 1, it can be 0 as well. So here if you see, look at the number of zeros. Here the number of zeros is 0. It does not cut the x-axis at all, right? So number of zeros. Here it is 0 because it does not cut. What about here? It cuts it at 1. So the number of 0 is 1. Here it cuts it at 2 places. So the number of 0 is 2. So maximum a quadratic polynomial can have 2 zeros or less than 2. But here if you see the last graph, 1, 2, 3, the number of zeros are 3 zeros. And a quadratic polynomial cannot have more than 2 zeros. So which of the following is not the graph of a quadratic polynomial? It's the fourth graph. Probably a D. Okay, you can just label it. So if this is graph A, B, C and D, D is the answer. So D, the last graph is the graph that is not a graph of a quadratic polynomial. Right? This is how you have to do it. Just see at how many points does the graph cut the x-axis or touches the x-axis. That many zeros it has. And a linear polynomial always has exactly 1 zero, but a quadratic has maximum of 2 zeros. Let me know if you have any doubts. Please do put them in the comments. Let's move on to the next question. Find the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. The question is 7x square minus 19x minus 6. So this is again of the form ax square plus bx plus c. What is a? A is 7. What is b? The coefficient of x, which is minus 19, and c is nothing but the constant minus 6. Now there are two things. One is the sum and the other one is the product. The sum is always b and the product is always a into c. A product of a and c. So b is minus 19 and a multiplied by c is 7 into minus 6. Minus 7 6 are 42. Now how do you find? You have to find me two numbers whose sum is minus 19 and whose product is minus 42, because we are going to do middle term splitting in order to find the zeros of this polynomial. So 42, do the prime factorization. So 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2. Again 3 and 7. So if you see 7 3s are 21 and 2. 21 comma 2 could be a possibility if you put a negative sign here. Okay, so minus 21 multiplied by 2 will give you minus 42. Minus 21 plus 2 will give you minus 19. Right? So now we can do the middle term splitting. So the middle term, that is your x term, can be split as minus 21x plus 2x. So 7x square minus 21x plus 2x. So the middle term is split up into the two terms, right? Minus 19x is written as minus 21x plus 2x, and the last term is minus 6 equal to 0. Whenever you're finding the 0, equate it to 0. So here take 7x common. Now what do you have? X minus 3 plus 2 common out. Again x minus 3 equal to 0. X minus 3 is common. The other term is 7x plus 2 equal to 0. So either x minus 3 is equal to 0 or 7x plus 2 equal to 0. X is equal to 3 and 7x equal to minus 2. X is equal to minus 2 by 7. Right? These two are the x equal to 3 and x equal to minus 2 by 7. These are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay, so what does it mean if you substitute x as 3 here, right? If you substitute x as 3 or if you substitute x as minus 2 by 7, the value what you will be getting will be 0. So therefore, x equal to 3 and x equal to minus 2 by 7 are called the zeros of this polynomial. You have to find the zeros, and what method did we use? We used the middle term splitting. This is the method that we used by splitting the middle term. Before splitting the middle term, always make sure your x square term is the first term and then x and then the constant. Let us do one more question on this. Yes. So 7x minus 6 minus 2x square. First of all, let us rearrange the terms and write. So minus 2x square and then the x term, that is plus 7x, and then the constant, that is minus 6. Okay, now what is a here? A is the coefficient of x square, that is minus 2, b is 7, and c is nothing but minus 6. So what should be the sum and what should be the product? Sum is b, that is 7, and the product is nothing but a multiplied by c. So minus 2 into minus 6, which is plus 12. So the minute you see 12, you can think of 4 and 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. So let's do the middle term splitting. So in order to find the zeros, minus 2x square plus 7x minus 6, we have to equate it to 0 to find the 0. Now let us replace the middle term with 4 and 3. So 4x plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Take minus 2x common. You will have x minus 2 plus 3 common out. Again x minus 2 equal to 0. So x minus 2 is common and then minus 2x plus 3 is the other term equal to 0. So either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or you have minus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. So x equal to 2 in the first case and minus 2x equal to minus 3. Minus minus gets cancelled. X is equal to 3 by 2. So these two are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, the given quadratic polynomial. I hope you understood. So let me give you one homework to do. The homework is you have to find out the zeros of 3x square plus 10x plus 3. Okay, do this and comment your answer below. That's all for today. So we have solved very good questions with respect to finding the zeros of a quadratic polynomial, or if one of the zeros is given, how do you find an unknown value, that is k? How do you find the degree of a polynomial by solving it? So these are some of the questions that we solved today as a part of our 20 minutes daily practice series called Do Math With Me. Hope you are liking it. Please do share your feedback in the comment. It will be super nice to read them and to know that my videos are being helpful and students are actually viewing them. So thank you so much for your support. If alpha and beta are zeros of the polynomial x square minus 1, then find the value of alpha plus beta. So this is your given question. Let's do it. So you're already given that alpha and beta are the zeros of x square minus 1, right? So the given polynomial p of x is nothing but x square minus 1. Let us take out, so the standard form of the quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, where a is nothing but the coefficient of x square, b is nothing but the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. Now from the given question, what is a? A is nothing but the coefficient of x square, which is nothing but 1. What is b? The coefficient of x. So we cannot see any x term here, so it's 0. And what is c? C is the constant, so it's minus 1. Now, since you're already given that alpha and beta are the zeros, the sum of the zeros, right, sum of the zeros, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to minus b by a. This is the formula. Right? Now, you have to also find out the sum of the zeros, right? You have to find out alpha and beta are the zeros. You have to find alpha plus beta, which is nothing but sum of the zeros. So, what is the formula? It is minus b by a. So, minus 0 divided by a is 1. So, the answer is 0. That's your answer. A good 1 mark question. Okay. So, pause the video and do it, and then play the video and check if you are also getting the same answer. Do it for all the questions, and it is not going to take more than 20 minutes if you sit till the end. So let's do it on an everyday basis from Monday to Friday, and you will definitely see a difference in the next 1 or 2 months. Let's move on to the next question. Write a quadratic polynomial whose zeros are minus 3 and minus 4. So you are given the zeros, right? So let alpha be minus 3 and let the other 0, that is beta, be 4. What is the sum of zeros? The sum of the zeros means just add them, alpha plus beta. So minus 3 plus 4. So what is 4 minus 3? It is just 1. I'm going to denote it with the capital letter S. And then find the product of the zeros. So product of the zeros, that is alpha into beta, just find the product, right? Minus 3 multiplied by 4, which is nothing but minus 12. So I'm going to denote the product of zeros as P. Now what is, if you know the sum of the zeros and product of the zeros, you can form a quadratic polynomial which will have these two values as sum and product of the zeros respectively. So the formula is nothing but k multiplied by x square minus sum of the zeros into x plus the product of the zeros. So k is nothing but it's just a constant. It can be any value, because you can have many quadratic polynomials with the 0 as minus 3 and 4 respectively. So it is never the case that you will have a finite number of polynomials with the given zeros, that is minus 3 and 4. There can be infinite number of quadratic polynomials that will have the zeros as minus 3 and 4. That is why you are restricting and you are making a constant called k, right? So x square minus, what is the sum of zeros? It is 1. So 1x, and what is the product? It is minus 12, right? Sum is 1 and the product is minus 12. So I'm going to substitute in place of s as 1, in place of the product minus 12. Okay, and you can write if k equal to 1. If k is equal to 1, then what is the quadratic polynomial? It will be x square minus x minus 12. Okay, this is what is given in some of the books, or you can probably divide it throughout by 2. Okay, or so it depends completely. If you divide it by 2, you will get x squared by 2 minus x by 2 minus what is 12 by 2? It is 6. So anything, I would prefer you writing this answer. X square minus x minus 12. So whenever you are given the zeros, right? Whenever you have a question wherein zeros are given, and if you are asked the quadratic polynomial, what will you do? First of all, you will assume one of the 0 as alpha, the other 0 as beta. Find the sum of the zeros, that is add the two, find the sum and denote it with S. Find the product of the zeros, multiply them, and that will be p. And remember this formula, k multiplied by x square minus sum of zeros into x plus product of the zeros. So x square minus sx plus p. If you remember this, you will be able to write or form a quadratic polynomial with the given sum and product of zeros. So this is a very good and important question that is often repeated and has been frequently asked. Let's do the next question the same way. Again, please pause the video and try it yourself. I will give you 10 seconds of time. So pause the video and then play it again and let's see if your answer is matching mine. Meanwhile, let me go ahead and do it the same way. So I will let the zeros be alpha equal to 0 and the beta value be 4. These are the given zeros of the polynomial. So if I'm given the zeros, in order to form a quadratic polynomial, I need to find the sum of the zeros. The sum of the zeros, which I will denote by S, is equal to alpha plus beta. So 0 plus 4, which is 4. And then the product of the zeros, which I'll denote it with P, that is just multiply alpha and beta value. So 0 multiplied by 4, which is 0. Now, as I told you in the previous question, substitute it in the standard quadratic polynomial formula, which is nothing but k multiplied by x square minus sx plus p. So k multiplied by x square minus sum is 4x plus 0. So this will give you k multiplied by x square minus 4x, right? And if k equal to 1, if you are taking k equal to 1, you can take any value. What will be the polynomial? 1 multiplied by, it will just be x square minus 4x. That's all. This is your answer. If k equal to 1. You can take k as any value. If you take k equal to 2, you will have 2x square minus 8x. If you are taking k equal to 3, 3x square minus 12x. Like that, you can take any value of k. So there is no standard answer for this question. There can be infinite number of polynomials, quadratic polynomials, which will have zeros as 0 and 4 respectively. So both second and the third question that we just now did within 8 minutes. So you have done 3 questions within 8 minutes. And I would say that's a remarkable thing, that because you're learning, right? If you are asked this question and if you're focusing in this video and doing it along with me, I am sure it is really going to be very helpful for you during your board examination. So let's move on to the next question. If f of t equal to 2t square minus 8 minus 80 and m and n are the zeros of the polynomial, find the value of m square minus 2m plus n square. Again, a very, very important question. Let us do it together. First of all, let us write what is given. Given is nothing but your polynomial f of t is equal to 2t square minus 80. I'm going to rearrange it. Minus 8. So what are the coefficients? A is nothing but the coefficient of t square, which is 2. B is nothing but the coefficient of t along with the sign. So it's minus 8. And C, which is the constant. So A is the coefficient of t square 2. And then B is nothing but coefficient of t. And the constant, which is C, is nothing but minus 8. Right? Let us calculate first of all the sum of the zeros. Sum of the zeros. What are you given? You are not given alpha, beta. Here you are given m and n. So m plus n is equal to, the formula is minus b by a, because we have to relate both zeros as well as the coefficients. Minus belongs to the formula and b is nothing but minus 8 divided by 2. So it's nothing but 8 by 2, which is nothing but 4. So the sum of the zero is 4. Similarly, let us calculate the product of the zeros. P, that is m into n. The formula is C by A. What is C? Minus 8. What is A? 2. So what's the answer? Minus 4. Right? But now what is the thing is, you have to find what is the value of m square minus 2mn plus n square. Provided all these variables, right, m and n are the zeros of the polynomial. So, but what we have found out using the given polynomial and the given coefficients, we have found out the sum, which is m plus n, and we have also found out a value for the product. We have to change this to a form such that we only have m plus n and m into n. Now listen very carefully. You are asked to find m square minus 2mn plus n square, right? So you can write this as m square plus n square minus 2mn. I'm just rearranging and writing. We also know a formula which is nothing but m plus n the whole square, which is similar to a plus b the whole square. So m square plus n square plus 2ab, correct? But I need to find what is this m square plus n square. So m square plus n square will be equal to this 2ab will be going to the other end. So what will m square and n square be? M square plus n square will be equal to m plus n the whole square minus 2ab is what I am getting. Now it's not ab, it's mn, right? 2mn. Now let this be 1 and let this be 2. So we have got it in the form when we changed it. This is a formula which we already know. A plus b the whole square. So m plus n the whole square equal to a square m square plus n square plus 2mn. Here also I have made a mistake. It's mn. Okay. It is 2mn. But in our original question, right, we need to find a value for m square plus n square. So from this formula, that is m plus n the whole square, we get to know that m square plus n square equal to m plus n the whole square minus 2mn. So here if you see, you have the sum of 0. Here you have product of the 0. Just put 2 in 1. Put 2 in 1. So what does it become? If you substitute m square plus n square with this. So let me rewrite it. M square plus n square minus 2mn. This is your equation 1. In place of this m square plus n square, I am going to replace it with this formula. That is m plus n the whole square minus 2mn. Again, there is a minus 2mn. Now, what is the sum? So, we have everything, we have changed it to the form of sum of zeros and product of the zeros. So, this is equal to, we can solve it, m plus n the whole square minus 2, it is minus 4 mn. So, what is m plus n? What is the value you got? M plus n is 4. Mn is minus 4. Okay. So, 4 the whole square minus 4 into product is minus 4. What is 4 square? 16. Minus into minus is plus. Again 4 into 4, 16. So the answer is 32. This is your final answer. So whatever be the expression asked in terms of the zeros, there are multiple questions of the same kind. Whenever you are given a polynomial, first of all, take out the coefficients, find the sum and product of the zeros using this formula. That is, sum of zeros equal to minus b by a, product of the zero equal to c by a. Get these two values. And then see how you can transform this in a way that the entire expression has only sum of zeros, that is m plus n, and then product of the zeros. So that you can just substitute the value and find the final result. So this is how you have to do it. Please do it once and see. Right? So pause the video and try it yourself once and see if you are getting the correct answer. One very important thing when you're doing is, m square plus n square equal to m plus n the whole square. When plus 2m goes to the other end, it becomes minus 2m. Be very careful with the sign as well. Okay, mn is nothing but your minus 4. So minus into minus is plus. So be very, very careful and you will definitely be able to get the answer as 32. Please make sure you are solving and not just looking at the video. That is not going to serve the purpose. I want you to take your notebook and solve the question with me. Make sure you write the question and do. All of these questions are very, very important questions from CBSE sample papers and previous year's board papers. Right? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Find a quadratic polynomial whose sum and product of the zeros are minus 5 and sum. So it's directly given. It's a very direct question. The sum and product are given. What is the sum of the zero? Sum of the zeros is equal to minus 5. So this is nothing but your S. And then the product of the zeros equal to 6. And this is your product P. So what is the formula that we learned? If you know the sum and the product of zeros, we can easily write a quadratic polynomial, which is k multiplied by x square minus sum of zeros into x plus product of the zeros. Just substitute the value k multiplied by x square minus sum is minus 5 into x plus product of the zeros 6. Okay, so k multiplied by x square minus into minus plus 5x plus 6. And you can write if k equal to 1 or when k equal to 1, what will be the quadratic polynomial? It will just be x square plus 5x plus 6. And that's your answer. Okay. Very easy. If you know the sum and the product of the zeros, you can directly write the quadratic polynomial. Okay. Now, let's move on to the last question of the day. We still have 3 minutes left for the time to be 20 minutes. But again, it's going to be approximately 20 minutes. So if one of the zeros of the quadratic polynomial x square plus 3x plus k is 2, then find the value of k. Very easy question. Let's do it. You can also try the solution yourself. Just try it and let's see how, because I want you to think, and based on whatever you have learned so far, just try it, try to solve it, and then you can continue the video. So here, the given polynomial, let it be p of x equal to x square plus 3x plus k. This is given in the question. Okay, this is given. So one of the zeros, so let alpha be 2. One of the zeros of the polynomial is given, right? So if one of the zero is 2, find the value of k. Now, here, what is a and what is b and what is c? A is 1, b is coefficient of x, which is 3, and your c is nothing but k, right? So what is the sum of the zero? Alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a. What is alpha? 2. What is beta? We don't know. Equal to what is minus b by a? Minus 3 by 1. Right? So beta 2 plus beta equal to minus 3. And you have beta equal to minus 3 plus 2. If it goes to the other side, it will become minus 2. So what does it? What do you get? You get a minus 5. Okay, so beta equal to minus 5. But are you asked beta? No, you are asked to find the value of k. Now let us see what is the product of the root. What is the product? C by a. What is alpha? Alpha is 2 given in the question. What is beta? We just found minus 5. Equal to c is nothing but your k by your a is 1. So what is 2 into minus 5? Minus 10 is equal to k. So what is your final answer? K equal to minus 10. See how easy it is. All you need to know is, if you are given a quadratic polynomial, take out the coefficients, find the sum of the zeros and the product of the zero using the formula sum of the zeros equal to minus b by a and the product of the zero equal to c by a. So a, b and c, write it always along with the sign. Find the zeros of the polynomial 3x square minus 3x minus m into m plus 3. Okay, so let us write, you have to find the zeros. Whenever you have to find the zero, you have to equate the polynomial to 0. So let us write the given polynomial. So x square minus 3x minus m into m plus 3 is equal to 0. So always remember, every time wherever you have to find the zeros, equate it to 0. Now you have to add and subtract the m here. Okay, so in the middle term, okay, you have to add and subtract m, and then followed by x minus m multiplied by m plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, now what am I going to do? I am going to take this m plus 3 alone outside, and then mx I am going to take it as a separate term. So let's do it. X square minus within bracket m plus 3. 3 plus m is written as m plus 3 multiplied by x, and then minus into minus plus, right? Plus m into x is mx, and then minus, open the bracket. So m into m square, plus into minus is minus, m into 3 is 3m equal to 0. Now from the first two terms, what can you take out common? You can take x common out. So x, so the first term will be x minus the second term will be m plus 3. And then plus, what is common in these three terms? You can see m is common, right? So plus m multiplied by x minus m minus 3 equal to 0. Please follow the steps and do along with me. Now I would like to make the term within the bracket equal, right? So x minus m plus 3 plus m multiplied by x minus, take minus common out. So you'll have m plus 3 equal to 0. Now in these two terms which are separated by a plus sign, what is common? You can see x minus m plus 3. So x minus m plus 3 is common, and then the other term is x plus m equal to 0. So now using the zero product property, you will have either x minus m plus 3 is equal to 0, or you will have x plus m equal to 0. And here it will be x equal to, so minus of m plus 3, if it goes to the other side, minus will become plus. So plus of m plus 3. So this is one of the 0, and the other 0 is x equal to minus m. So these two are the zeros of the given polynomial. These are the zeros of the given polynomial. Okay, given polynomial. So this is how you have to do. The most important thing in this question is to add and subtract a m, so that you can also get a m plus 3 here. Okay, so this is an important question. Please do make sure you do it. I hope you understood. Let us move on to the next question. Find a quadratic polynomial if the sum and product of its zeros are 2 and 1 respectively. Again, a very easy problem. You are already given the sum of zeros. Sum of zeros is nothing but, what value are you given? 2. What is the product of the zeros? You are given sum and product of the zeros. So sum is 2 and the product of zeros is nothing but it's 1. Let me denote it with S. S is the sum, P is the product. What is the formula to, if you know the sum of zeros, if you know the product of zeros, then the quadratic polynomial is written by the formula which is k multiplied by x square minus s into x plus p, where s is the sum of the zeros and p is the product of the zeros. So k multiplied by x square minus, what is s? It's 2x plus product is 1. So you can take some value of k, let k be 1. If k is 1, what is the quadratic polynomial that you are getting? X square minus 2x plus 1. This is the required quadratic polynomial with sum of zeros as 2 and product of zeros as 1. So please remember this particular formula. Okay, this is very important. You have to remember it. Whenever you know the sum of zeros, whenever you know the product of zeros, just plug it in this formula. K multiplied by, K is just a constant, x square minus sx plus b. Okay. Make a note of it and please do remember it. Let's move on to the next question. If one zero of the polynomial p of x is given by, the polynomial is 6x square plus 37x minus k minus 2 is the reciprocal of the other, find the value of k. Whenever you are given a polynomial and you are also given a zero, always make sure you are able to get the coefficients and you are able to relate it with the zeros of the polynomial. So first let's write what is the polynomial which is given. So p of x is nothing but 6x square plus 37x minus of k minus 2. Compare it with the standard quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c. So what is a here? The coefficient of x square, which is 6. A is 6. What is b? Coefficient of x along with the sign, which is 37. And what is c? All the rest of the terms, like it's minus of k minus 2. You have to find the value of k. Now, what is given in the question? If one zero of the polynomial is the reciprocal of the other. So, let's take, let one zero be alpha. Then the other zero will be, what will be the other zero will be 1 by alpha. That means it's a reciprocal. Now, let us find out the product. Okay, because why am I finding and why am I not finding out the sum here? Because the sum of the zeros, the formula is alpha plus beta equal to, sum is equal to minus b by a. And b and a does not contain k. What we need is k, and k is contained in c. So let us calculate the product of the zeros. What is the formula for product of the zeros? It's nothing but alpha into beta is equal to c by a, right? So instead of beta, what do we have? We have 1 over alpha. So alpha multiplied by 1 over alpha is equal to c by a. What is c? Minus of k minus 2 divided by 6. So alpha gets cancelled, cross multiply. So 6 is equal to minus of k minus 2. Open the bracket. So 6 is equal to minus k plus 2. So k will be equal to 2 minus 6, right? Which is equal to minus 4. So be very careful. I am just opening the, so k I am taking it to this side and 6 will go to the other end. So minus k will become plus k in left hand side. Plus 6 if it goes to the other side, right side, it becomes minus 6. So 2 minus 6 is minus 4. So therefore, what is the answer? K equal to, therefore the answer is k equal to minus 4. Okay. That's your answer. Very easy. So if you should clearly be able to understand when it is given a relationship between two of the zeros. So here it's given 1 0 is the reciprocal of the other. Okay, very easy, very simple. And I also told you why we are not taking the sum of the zeros, because it does not contain k term. So sum of the zeros formula is minus b by a. Yeah, alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. It's not needed because what we are focusing on is the term or the coefficient that contains k. Let us move on to the next question. I hope you understood, and you also make sure you do this problem along with me. So the last question of the day, if alpha and beta are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, you're given a quadratic polynomial and you're also given alpha and beta zeros. So the very first thing to do is, from the given polynomial, you have to take out the coefficients, that is a, b and c. Okay, and then you have to find the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients. After that, let us solve for these two. Let's find the value of alpha square plus beta square and alpha inverse plus beta inverse. First of all, the given polynomial p of x is nothing but 5x square plus 5x plus 1. What are the coefficients? A is 5, B is also 5, and your C is 1. Sum of the zeros, that is alpha plus beta, is equal to minus B by A, which is minus 5 over 5. Just substitute the value of B and A, which you will get as minus 1. The product of the zeros, alpha into beta equal to C by A. What is C? It's 1. What is A? It is 5. So 1 by 5. Now you have got the sum of zeros and you have got the product of zeros. Using this relationship and the values of alpha plus beta and alpha beta, let's find out the first one, alpha square plus beta square. Alpha square plus beta square. Now you should know a relationship, an identity, which is alpha plus beta the whole square is equal to alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta. So therefore, what is the identity for alpha square plus beta square is equal to alpha plus beta the whole square. So this plus 2 alpha beta will go to the other end. It will become minus 2 alpha beta. So what you are asked is the value for alpha square plus beta square, which is equal to alpha plus beta the whole square minus 2 alpha beta. I am going to put this in a box so that you will remember it. This identity is a very, very important identity. Please do remember it. Right? Alpha square plus beta square equal to alpha plus beta the whole square minus 2 alpha beta. Now all we have to do is we have to just substitute the value. So let's write that. Therefore, alpha square plus beta square is equal to, what is alpha plus beta value? Minus 1. Right? So here see, alpha plus beta is minus 1. Alpha beta is 1 by 5. So alpha plus beta value is minus 1 the whole square minus 2 multiplied by 1 by 5. Let's do it. So minus 1 the whole square is 1 minus 2 by 5. Take the LCM 5. So you'll have in the numerator 5 minus 2. So the answer will be 3 by 5. This is for the first question. For the second question, what is alpha inverse plus beta inverse? What is inverse meaning? It means 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. Take the LCM alpha beta. Numerator will have beta plus alpha, which I will write it as alpha plus beta. What is alpha plus beta? Minus 1. And what is alpha beta? 1 over 5, 1 by 5. So 5 will go to the numerator. It will become minus 5. That's all. That's your answer. So here, if you have the fraction in the denominator, this will go to the numerator. It will get multiplied. Right? So this is nothing but minus 1 multiplied by 5 by 1. Okay, which is nothing but your minus 5. This is your answer. Hope you understood. So we have solved 4 different questions from this polynomials. I hope you understood. These are very, very good questions. You have to practice every day. So meet you all during the next class. That will be day 12. And we are going to continue polynomials next week also. So make sure you do these problems with me. And if you have any doubts, anything that you're finding it difficult or cannot understand, please do post it in the comments. And please do share it with your friends. Do not forget to subscribe and like. Thank you so much. Happy learning.